Mr. Guy Ryder received 54 votes. Mr. Guy Ryder is accordingly appointed for a second 5-year term commencing 1st of October 2017 as Director General of the International Labour Office.
Thank you very much, Chair, members of the governing body. Obviously, I want to begin by thanking all members of the governing body for your confidence in electing me to serve you for a second mandate as Director General of our organisation. And I owe particular gratitude to those who have nominated me, some of them on 2 occasions, or who have supported my candidacy. And I must say, Chair, it's a source of real satisfaction that as the arithmetic of the election result does show, I have received the votes, the confidence of members from all 3 groups, governments, employers and workers. And that gives me, I think, more than ever, reason to repeat what I have said previously, and I've said it consistently, that I will continue to assume my responsibility to work for all member states and for all group constituencies. You have my assurance on that. The message that I take from today's vote is that we are ready to come together to work with joint endeavour towards common purposes. And if I'm right in that interpretation, I think it represents a major institutional asset for the ILO, major political capital that we can and we must together use to the very best effect. Throughout these last months during the process that led up to this election, I've done my best to convey to you some quite straightforward messages about what I think the ILO should do in the next 5 years, how we should do it, and why it's so important that we succeed in what we do. The what can be easily stated. It is to make the ILO a more effective, a more influential actor for social justice around the world. And when I say more influential, I don't think that we can settle for marginal change. We must set our sights a little higher. We need to make the ILO a substantially more visible, more vocal protagonist in your countries and in the international system. So how do we do that? By pressing forward with the pursuit of excellence as the basis of everything that we do, advocacy, policy advice, quality service provision, and being focused and courageous enough to address the issues which really matter, the issues where the ILO can and must make a difference. We must innovate, as the ILO has always done, to be successful. And we must never avert our eyes or turn our backs on any matter or any people which make a claim on our responsibilities simply because it's too difficult, because it's too inconvenient, or it takes us out of our comfort zone. And the reason why we must take up these challenges and why we must succeed in our work is that the realization of social justice opens up such extraordinary and positive vistas for all of humanity, while its denial presents us with real dangers. Some of them are already with us. Dangers for the stability of our societies and for the preservation of peace. And colleagues, whatever the future holds in store for us, much of it will be played out in the world of work. The world of work is not just where goods are made and services provided. It's there that social justice is hammered out, where progress is forged, and where our societies are moulded. But it's also there in the world of work that injustice is perpetrated, where minds and bodies are broken, and where inequity is propagated. And I take our presence here together as witness to common commitment to the values and objectives of the ILO, and witness too to the shared conviction that when the skills and the energies of governments, employers and workers, each properly engaged in the defence of their own legitimate interests, when they come together in constructive tripartite process, then we have every chance to construct the future that we want for ourselves, for each other, and for the next generations. And I've spoken to you and to others about the extraordinary challenges that result from the reality of unprecedented, transformative change in the world of work, change which seems to excite and to intimidate in more or less equal measure, but which in any case apparently unites all of us in the realization that now is the time to reflect and to reflect profoundly on the future of work. And of course, the ILO centenary, a little over 2 years away now, provides us with the opportunity to do just that. And making sure that we use that opportunity fully, understanding that 2019 stands not only as a milestone from the ILO's proud past, but as a signpost towards its future success, must surely stand as the loftiest of the mountains that we need to scale in the years ahead. And here again, we will only get to the top if it's together. You know, mountaineers faced with a difficult climb, they rope themselves together. And so it must be with the tripartite constituents of this House. We will reach the peaks, or we will fall as one. All win or all lose. And I see it in the same terms as we tackle all of the other tasks that we have rightly set ourselves. The success of a sustainable enterprise, generating decent work, needs to be as much the concern of a worker representative as it does an employer one. Just as the protection of organising and bargaining rights is as much the task of the employers as it is of the workers. And all of this concerns, of course, governments in any case. And it's in that spirit that we can tackle, and we can tackle successfully, the crucial task of ensuring that the ILO standards-related responsibilities are carried out fully. The normative backbone of the International Labour Organization must be strong, so that our organization stands tall and stands with authority in giving practical and global effect to its founding values. And we must do that through the setting and the authoritative supervision of our conventions and our recommendations. It's in that same spirit that we can help steer the world of work along the path of just transition to an environmentally sustainable future. It's in that spirit that we can make the opportunities of the world of work equal for all, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, or any other personal characteristic that is the business of nobody but ourselves. And in that spirit, everything that tripartism offers can be brought to bear so that the ILO, strong from the lead that it took in framing the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, will be a leading partner in the combined efforts of the multilateral system to make sure that that agenda is delivered. We owe it to our own mandate, and we owe it to the UN system and its new leadership to not be found wanting in this challenge. And faced with all of this, Chair, and being conscious of the responsibilities that go with them, it sometimes seems difficult not to be overawed. But it's more important to be ready, and it's more important to be determined. And the last 4 years have been ones of reform and improvement in the ILO, and that will continue. They have been years of learning for me. I hope that will continue too. And they have also been years of coming together, of building bridges of understanding, compromise and convergence, often from very divergent starting points and on tough issues. And that has been the achievement of everybody here and those that you represent. And my request to you today is to persist in your efforts so that more achievements will follow. And in return, I undertake to do my utmost to deserve the renewed confidence that you have placed in me, to listen to you, to respond to what you tell me, and finally, to work with the wonderful group of colleagues that you again give me the privilege to lead, and on whose shoulders the burden of the ILO's responsibilities to you collectively falls. I want to thank you once more. Thank you, Chair.